everyone in here about your butt. If it's not too much trouble, comprehend that about the manner in which I love you, Marjorie. Elaine, the very first word I shared with her was, I don't have the foggiest idea what your identity is, however I will wed you one day. Margie. What Marjorie isn't letting you know all? Everyone is. Alright at this point. Don't. Try not to allow me to begin telling Steve's business. Hollywood is no more abnormal to debates, however nothing could set up the glitterati for the shameful waves hitting its shores. Today, the name all the rage, Steve Harvey. For reasons unknown, the darling moderator and jokester may be trapped in a snare of misdirection and disloyalty. To the extent that when Steve and I got together, he had an entire nother thought of what he was anticipating doing after his separation. Hello, everybody. Shut sources have as of late ventured into the spotlight to give everything away on the unfurling Harvey family show. However, this isn't just about some other circle of drama. At the focal point of this tempest is, as a matter of fact, William Large Blast Freeman. What's more, for the people who aren't comfortable, William wasn't simply any bodyguard. He was Steve's right-hand man, a compatriot, somebody the star trusted certainly. This makes the supposed treachery sting considerably more. It appears to be the murmurs of mystery rendezvous weren't simple fabrications of the creative mind. Insiders have detailed sightings of Marjorie and William in close settings, bistros, late-night drives and, surprisingly, disconnected escapes, where Steve was prominently missing. The situations painted by these sources aren't simply of two companions making up for lost time. There were obvious indications of science and an undeniable closeness that caused a commotion. How about we first say that you shouldn't feel remorseful for? However, here's where the situation starts to get interesting. Insiders, in a stunning turn, have figured out how to extricate William's side of the story. Word on the road is that William did, as a matter of fact, affirm a specific closeness with Marjorie. Notwithstanding, he stayed obscure about the nature and profundity of their relationship. He wasn't offering every one of the delicious subtleties, however the clues were adequately clear to get people talking. There's something else. Insiders have this premonition that William may be perched on a treasure trove of data about Steve himself. The word shakedown has been tossed around with some in any event, recommending that William, potentially thick as thieves with Marjorie, is plotting to get a powerful cut of Steve's fortune. It's critical to take note of that Marjorie and William have known one another since the early noughties, fueling hypotheses of a long-composed plan. If it's not too much trouble, welcome the chick of my fantasies, my better half, Marjorie. So what's the significance here for Steve Harvey? He's constructed a realm on his appealing character, clever jokes and the trust of millions. These disclosures, whenever validated, could cause some serious qualms about his picture, shaking the actual underpinning of his fanbase with murmurs transforming into thunders. The reality of the situation will surface at some point where this story of interest and disloyalty will lead. While the spotlight has to a great extent been on the supposed undertaking, there's another situation unfolding underneath the surface. Hollywood's inward circles have been swirling with murmurs regarding Steve and Marjorie's likely parted. A separation many case is by all accounts not too far off. Late occasions appear to validate these bits of hearsay. In a perceptible shift, Marjorie has been seen less and less by Steve's side during public appearances. This adjustment of dynamic, particularly for a couple that was once indistinguishable, is plain to see. Then there's Steve himself. Watchers of his television show have brought up occurrences where he appeared to be more serious with hidden references to individual inconveniences, a specific discourse about the difficulties of trust and the torments of selling out had the web guessing on the off chance that it was an incognito gesture to his own conjugal issues. However, this isn't just about Steve and Marjorie. The effect resonates through their mixed family. Their youngsters, some of whom are at the center of attention, are confronting the examination and inquiries from fans and media the same. Such open embarrassments will quite often negatively affect families, and theirs is no special case. For instance, last week, a few news pieces arose in regards to the assessments of Brandy, Harvey, Lori Harvey, and, surprisingly, Lori's ex, Michael B. Jordan, and every one of their disclosures reduced to one thing. Notwithstanding each of the public refusals from Marjorie and Steve, they are very nearly separate. That is what you're expressing to me, Alex. Sorry. Okay, this is an unexpected bringing in. Then comes the topic of funds. With Steve's immense riches, a separation could have huge monetary ramifications. Legitimate intellectuals and blather reporters the same estimate on potential settlement sums and how resources may be partitioned, taking into account Steve's broad land possessions, show contracts, and different endeavors. The numbers being talked about are amazing. The general population has not kept down by the same token. Virtual entertainment is partitioned, with fans communicating their shock, compassion, and now and again, distrust. Individual VIPs have been more monitored, however, a couple have communicated their help for Steve, expecting a quiet goal to several issues. Marjorie, it appears, has gotten comfortable with herself in the midst of this confusion. She made an immediate rejoinder on her virtual entertainment stages, declaring her honesty. To be exact, she composed, "My significant other and I don't typically stop to address all the absurdity and falsehoods that have been spread about us. Notwithstanding, to whom much is given, a lot is required. I comprehend that with my foundation comes some kind of obligation to those that may not be areas of strength for however we seem to be. Peruse and impart this to your friends and family that may not know how to adapt appropriately." Simultaneously, Steve isn't lingering behind his significant other or prospective ex, obviously, as he likewise disproved the bits of gossip without holding back during a new fan meeting. Bits of gossip before I get everything rolling. Just let me say I'm fine. Better believe it, you say. However, what might be said about William? Huge blast. Freeman once viewed as Steve's most confided in helper. These claims have messed up his picture on the off chance that the reports are valid. It's about a treachery of fellowship, yet a firmly established break of expert unwaveringness. For somebody who remained by Steve during profession ups and downs. This contort adds one more layer of intricacy to a generally tangled story. What's more, Enormous Blast wasn't simply a run-of-the-mill bodyguard. Throughout the long term, his relationship with Steve was layered, profoundly imbued into the texture of both Steve's own and proficient life. Many review how Freeman assumed a crucial part in overseeing security subtleties during Steve's cross-country visits and network program accounts. He wasn't only liable for actual insurance, yet in addition dealt with numerous in-the-background issues, guaranteeing smooth tasks any place Steve went. There's even discussion about how Freeman was in many cases engaged with key conferences, not as a member, but rather as a quiet eyewitness, standing gatekeeper, consistently careful, supportive of now, people. You rock for spending time with us today. On the off chance that you had a great time as we went ahead and crushed that like button. Furthermore, in the event that you haven't previously hit buy-in so you won't pass up all the delicious tattle we have arranged for you. Until sometime later, keep those remarks coming and remain marvelous.